just jump up in a price. We see we I want to go on from campus. Young people are going hard from campus. Come on, tell me what one. Campus connection, yeah, and that's a one. Now, walk one from campus. How we are carry hard from campus. Come on, tell me what one. Campus connection, yeah, and that's a one. Hey, some make us again listen, let me tell you this. Students, I will make we do this. Oh yes, we create this space just for you. Make we talk about you, make we talk about school, government, and politics, sports, academics, anything that concern you. I don't know when love pass through. It's all about the gospel. So tell me back one from campus. Youths are going on from campus. Come on, tell me back one. Campus connection, yeah, and that's a one. Hey, I walk one from campus. And we are carry lot from campus. Come on, tell me back one. I walk one. Hey, walk one. Everybody want more.
All right.
Yes. Welcome, everybody, to Campus Connection. It's another Tuesday evening, and it is a lovely Tuesday evening. I'm Anesta, and with me, of course, is my co-host
Jonathan, I'm here, and we're here to tell you what's going on
on the
campus.
campuses.
But you know, our theme song says we're here. We are gonna tell you what go on campus,
Yes,
right?
yes,
You
yes.
know, because we have to be in cohesion with our theme song. But yes, if you're listening on the FM band 101.1, 357 or 9, it's so good to have you listening to us this evening. If you're watching us on Facebook or on YouTube, that's Love 101 FM Jamaica. Drop a comment, no man, make we see you in the
Yeah.
comments. You know, make a big one up in the comments. Share the live stream with your friends, with your family members, with a student, with somebody who you know would benefit greatly from this type of content.
Mm-hmm.
Nesta, what,
Yes.
what going on your side?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here with our lovely listeners and viewers one more time. Looking forward to all the comments. I notice you guys are kind of getting a little lax
Oh, I
with
don't
the
understand what's
commenting,
going on.
We want to hear from you. We want to hear your take on, especially when we get to let's talk about it, that segment where, we're dealing with the impact of graphic and lyrical music content on our schoolers. So we want to hear from you in the comment section. Go to that live stream, and you can also reach out to us on our WhatsApp line. We definitely want to hear from you. And the number for the WhatsApp line is 876-997-3125.
That's right. That's right. So let's talk about what's going to happen in today's show or this evening's show, this after, whenever you're watching or listening to this, because you know we're worldwide, so we have to cater
Yeah,
to different time zones.
right.
All right. So we have education news and bulletin coming up by our October student partner Ashana Jackson at 5:45. We have honor roll. Boy, and we're talking about we're making an exception or an exemption, whatever way you want to put it. We're interviewing a teacher for honor
Mm.
roll this time around, and he's dubbed the perfect 10 teacher, Mr. Simon Brown, a part-time literature teacher at the St. George's College. Mr. Brown told his third form students that he would once again be their instructor rather, for the 2022-2023 academic year. And a video, of course, was posted to the teacher's TikTok account, and it showed the excitement on his students' faces as they hugged each other after he walked into the classroom. So I'm very interested to hear about Mr. Brown's
Me too.
story.
I want to know what he's doing right to get
Mm-hmm.
all of his students to love him so much.
Hello.
Looking forward to that. But yes, certainly, as we said before, looking forward also to that discussion on music, lyrical content, its effects, its influence on our students, their
Mm-hmm.
behavior. What does music have to do with it? And we do have our guests for that segment at 6 p.m. Dexter Johnson, award winning artist, manager, creative. Wow, seem like the whole package. Perry Cummings Jr., aka Perry in Christ, gospel recording artist and content creator. And of course, we have
We
some
have
other persons with us.
Courick Clarke, music producer slash recording artist, and the man himself, Rondell Positive,
Woot
recording
woot.
gospel artist. And many persons would not know this, but he's actually a trained educator. So
How
we have
many
some heavy
persons?
hitters.
Yeah, so it should be good. Should be interesting.
Without a shadow of a doubt. So our social media talk back question this evening is, of course, in relation to our topic for Let's Talk About It. Do you think music can impact students' sexual and violent behavior? How so? You can leave, of course, your comment via Facebook or YouTube, where we are, of course, live, or via
Right.
our WhatsApp line at 876-997-3125. And we're live. The handle is Love 101 FM Jamaica. So just type that in Google. And I'm sure either the YouTube or the Facebook will pop up. Or you can go directly to YouTube or to Facebook, type in Love 101 FM Jamaica, and you will see the live stream happening.
Yes, 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 absolutely. And so now it's time for our education news and bulletin, brought to you by our student partner for the month of October, Ashana Jackson, final year
Ashana,
student at UWI. Hello, Ashana.
Good evening, everyone.
greetings.
Good evening.
Welcome to Education News for Tuesday, October 25, 2022, here inside Campus Connection. I'm Ashana Jackson. Board Chairman for the Retirement Primary School in St. Elizabeth, Herman Samuels, has called for a perimeter wall to be built at the institution to boost security for staff and students. His call comes after the school's principal was attacked and chopped by a man in front of students and teachers at the institution last Friday. The principal, who sustained wounds to her head and upper body, is being treated at hospital. Reports are that a man entered the school premises with a machete in hand and refused to leave when advised. When the principal attempted to get him to leave the premises, she was attacked. Samuel says that the school being in a remote area and without fencing, members of the school community are fearful. He said since only female educators are employed at the school, the fence and proper security are necessary. Following an upsurge of violent behavior among students, the Ministry of Education and Youth has launched an initiative aimed at ending violence in schools. The initiative is titled Just Medic and seeks to shift the culture of violence, confrontations, and responses among students and replace them with conflict resolution strategies that are peaceful and healthy. This will be done by improving the physical infrastructure in schools, teaching and incentivizing strategies to resolve conflicts peacefully, and providing psychosocial support to students and parents. It will also use the creative arts to increase school engagement and introduce character education programs to promote social behavior among students. A total of 16,000 students at 25 primary and high schools based in zones of special operations, ZOZOs, will be targeted for behavioral intervention. Education Minister Favor Williams says the strategy will start later this month as part of the ministry's Just Medic campaign. Other initiatives under the campaign include Anti-Gang Week, where the United Nations Regional Center for Peace, Disarmament and Development in Latin America and the Caribbean, Lyrical, will share best practices on the issues of gangs in schools. There will also be a Safe Schools Perception Survey among stakeholders in November. And 7 student athletes received scholarships from the Shelley Ann Fraser Prize Pocket Rocket Foundation at a ceremony at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel last Thursday. Each scholarship is valued at $190,000. The 7 students were selected amongst a pool of 72 applicants. The scholarships will run throughout the remainder of their high school career once they continue to attend school, maintain good grades, and participate in sports. Fraser Price encouraged the recipients to try their best in pursuit of their goals and implored the parents to do their best to support them along the way. It's now time for Campus Bulletin. In honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the URI-MONA Guild External Affairs Committee is hosting Run With Your Chest Pink Powder Edition, a 5K run and walk this Thursday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the UWI Student Union. The admission for students with an ID is $500, and those without is $1,000. All proceeds will be donated to charity. And that's all the news we have for you today inside of Education News and Bulletin. I am Ashana Jackson.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Ashana, for chiming in there and giving us the Education News and Bulletin. She is our student partner for the month of October, and she's a UWI student, University of the West Indies, Mona, and studying journalism as her major and minoring in Spanish. And she's doing a wonderful job of just bringing us the news each week.
That's right. And today is Ashana's last day with us. Ashana?
Yes.
How you feeling? How you feeling? How was this experience for you?
Jonathan, I should ask how you're feeling. It so like you're...
No, but I feel it. I feel it.
No, I'm really honestly very heartbroken about this. I love doing this for the month. It was something that I've never done before, but I've learned about. I love the ability, the opportunity to, put the knowledge into practice. And, it's good to stay informed about what's going on with my fellow students. So I really loved it. And I'm honestly so sad that this is my last presentation.
Well, you did a wonderful job, and I'm sure any potential employers who might be out there, you need to take note of Ashana because she's definitely doing a wonderful job.
Yes, call me.
All right, Ashana, all the best for the future, and keep the link.
Thank you so much, and I love the program, so I love to listen. I love listening to the program, so I love what you guys are doing here.
Thank you so much. It's why I love Ashana. Wow. All right, take care.
Bye. Take care, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye.
Oh boy.
Oh.
So nice. You know what else is nice? When students can appreciate their students.
Yes.
And vice versa. Right? Harmony is always important in that regard. And so I don't know if you watched the video with Mr. Simon Brown. Yes. Teacher at St. George's College, where he was, basically telling his students that, hey, I'm going to be your teacher again this year. And they literally, it was an eruption of excitement. It was really something special to behold. And I see his tweets from time to time, him talking about his different experiences with his students. So this should be a very interesting chat with him. And I'm seeing him ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah. So welcome to the show.
Most fast.
TikTok boss. TikTok teacher himself.
Wow.
Greetings. How you doing?
I'm all right, Bless up.
Good stuff. So we've been talking about, and not just us, a lot of persons would have been speaking about what you would have been able to achieve with your students. And let's just make this clear. All male students, correct?
Well,
George's at sixth form.
Yeah, George's have girls in sixth form. Based on the the video that was an all boys class, but I do teach literatures in English, and that's a co-ed classroom. In the article in Observer, I ensured that one of my female students made a comment as well. I tried to ensure there was that split.
Balance.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Nice, nice.
Awesome. So English literature, right?
Mhm.
The students in the video, they were young men, the third
Mhm.
form, right?
Yeah, man. My third form class.
So can you explain to me how you managed to get third form young men excited about English literature? How
Well,
did
I
you do
mean,
that?
so the interesting thing about that class specifically is I had that class in first form, and they started high school online.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that was a whole new experience for me in general. But
Mm,
um I had them online, and then what happened, just for the record, I'm a part-time teacher.
Okay.
And
mm.
I'm currently at my other job, which is I do videography for Just Bus TV, and I have my own videography company called Action Jamaica, which
Okay.
which makes talent profiles for athletes and students trying to go to college.
Mm.
Okay.
So that is my business. Um, but I used to teach at George's. I used to teach full time at George's. I resigned in 2016 to go into videography, and then I kind of came back, just to do part time a little bit, and then COVID made me have to take on more classes.
Mm.
'Cause when COVID hit, there was no my industry was on pause. No entertainment industry, no sports.
Yeah.
All of what I was working on had to be put on pause.
Mhm.
Um, During this COVID online teaching phase, I just grew to kind of love this class. When they were in first form, I used to call them the Avengers. I used to say, "Good morning, Avengers." Um, when we finished class, we used to say, "Wakanda forever."
Mm.
And then in second form now, it started online, and then we did a mix of online and live.
Mhm.
However, before the timetables came out, because I'm part time, sometimes I could ask for a certain amount of classes. And when I asked for the class, I was like, "Yo, is 2C available?" And they said, "Yeah." I said, "All right, please, beg you, give me back 2C." Got
Mhm.
them back for the year. And then I told them, I don't normally teach third form. Don't even know if I teach it next year. So this is it. We had like a games day for our last class. It was like a big goodbye. And for whatever reason, I say, you know what, I'm going to do another year of teaching, maybe two. And then when I went to them, I was like, "Yo, is 3C available?" Like, I knew I was asking for too much. But
Mhm.
they said, "Yo, they can work out something." So when I found out I got them, I was like, "I'm not going to tell them nothing. I'm going to wait till the first day of literature class, where they probably think they're getting another teacher." So
Okay.
I just have a feeling they're going excited. So I just turn on my
Mhm.
camera, walk in, and they were way more elated than I thought they would be.
Yeah. I was talking, and I just have to
Wow.
reinforce this point.
Mhm.
Third form
Right.
male students, right? Because I don't think we understand the
Mhm.
dynamic. I mean, it's often said that boys
Don't like
have a
to read.
they don't like to read exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So for
Well,
you to get them excited about that is just absolutely amazing.
so I guess you're right. I haven't fully answered the question. How did I get them to like the subject
Mm,
itself? To be honest, I love reading, and if I'm really going to touch into how I got them there, is I look back on how my mother got me to like reading, which was
mm-hmm,
she found out what I loved. So at the time, I loved basketball, I loved sports. I wasn't reading well leading up to CSEC literature, and one day she brought a basketball magazine, Slam magazine, and World Soccer magazine, and she brought it to me and was like, "Yo, read these articles, summarize them for me," and then she would
mm-hmm.
actually talk to me about the articles itself.
Mm. Okay.
So that was what my mother did for me in like third, fourth, and fifth form. And then eventually got me into writing. I started writing poetry, and I realized that this is what intrigued me. When I started teaching now, I said that has to be a way I tap into it. So I'm always talking about football with them. I will compare things to football teams. I will compare books to movie characters. So we're doing Young Warriors in first one. Very easy to make team comparisons to Avengers or football teams that work together and win stuff. And when I get your attention now, then that makes it a little bit easier. You know, teaching poetry, I do direct comparisons of poetry to songs, things like that, you know.
Wow.
So I
That's that's ingenious. How would you say you were able to I don't know, because it sounds to me like there is no this chemistry that you've developed with your students, not just with this particular year group, but you mentioned earlier how you actually were teaching full time and then you stopped, but then you came back to teach part time. So it's like you really can't get away from teaching. What is it about teaching that inspires you, motivates you personally?
I mean, you see, people ask me that, but it's hard for me to even just say it's teaching, because I think my real pull has to be the subject that I'm teaching, because I feel like there are things I'm doing that a science teacher might not be able to do. You know what I mean? Like maybe a math teacher can't do that. Maybe somebody who's teaching accounts can't make accounts sound like the Avengers. You know what I mean?
Right.
I did my bachelor's in English, in creative writing. I did my master's in literature. So there's an overall love for this subject itself, but being able to mold it into these, modern items makes it a little bit easier for me.
So what do you look forward to though, mostly? You know, you step through the gates of George's. What are a few of the things that you look forward to mostly?
Three, you said three or a few?
Three. Let's go with three.
I don't want people to think that teaching in Jamaica is just easy because I have these kids that rail for me in one TikTok video, like that is actually, I'm trying to be nice about it, but to be honest, I think what pushing me through is the kids itself. Like I'm not sure when if you guys are still trying to get one of the students on, but one of my requirements, because other shows have been calling to bring me on, but one of my requirements is I want the students here. It's not about me,
Yes, we do have a student on the line, actually. We do have a student. We can bring them on.
Good. I bring him on anytime soon, because I don't want it to be about me, because I mean, the things that made me eventually resign and go into my other business still exist, and it's just a little bit easier as a part-time teacher because I have less workload. The things that I do that I enjoy, I don't think full-time teachers have the capacity to really enjoy that nowadays, because if I go to this class that I like, right, this 3C class, I have a free session after. You know how many teachers have 4 classes in a row? You understand? You know how tiring that is? But for me, I'm an alumnus of St. George's College. So it's a little bit easier for me to enjoy giving back to my school.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a part of it. Another part of it also is there is joy in helping kids. You know what I mean? There is joy in reaching out. Today another teacher had a problem with one of the students from that same class, and I took the time to try and talk to that teacher about what's happening with him. There's a little bit of mentorship that I try to do, and I enjoy that. And last but not least, there is an overall there's a civil service feeling that can come from teaching, and that does bring me joy. I mean, George's from here in fourth form, you get used to things like ministry, and I remember being a fifth form of a ministry, and we went to some primary schools near the area, in the Central Kingston area. And I remember just helping kids and reaching out to kids, and I just remember feeling joy in seeing them happy to see us.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that brings its own joy in itself,
Amazing.
Wow.
Absolutely amazing.
So we do have Dejan online, and we'd love to bring
him
away.
Bring on the big boss.
Dejan,
welcome to the show.
Good
afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's audio. I got you.
Yeah, man. So Dejan, right now, Mr. Brown is not here. Let's just make this clear. He's not here. We are talking.
Remember me marking your papers in.
Yeah.
Oh no!
You
Oh,
see? You see
oh
same
Wait,
thing?
no.
wait,
Anything you say can and will be used again.
wait.
But
Should I come to
Dijon,
school tomorrow? I have his class tomorrow in the first thing in the morning.
yeah, man,
Oh,
just don't bother go
wow.
school tomorrow. It's fine. Send a note to the teacher. All
Yeah.
right, Dijon, can you explain to us, paint a picture of a typical class with Mr. Brown?
Well, I mean, you see, the thing that I like about his classes are he's very innovative
Mm-hmm.
with his teaching. I mean, firstly, he's very fun to be around.
Mm-hmm.
When when I just started St. George's, I didn't know what literature was. I just thought it was a subject where we came and read all day.
Mm-hmm.
But as we progressed, I understood that literature isn't hard, and he didn't made it hard. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So he breaks it down to the simplest. He does the most easiest things with us. Audiobooks, YouTube stuff. He breaks it down every bit, every piece. We all enjoy his classes. Like, I mean, you all could see in the video how elated we were just to have him back.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
it's just the air is just very light. The temperature is just cool when he's around. Just
Yeah, the descriptive
Wow.
writing. Big up yourself in that shot.
Yeah, I definitely could see that picture you were painting. But Dejan, on a serious note, what do you think, like, his method or his style of teaching, what I know you said it helps you to understand, but what do you feel like it's doing, not just inside the classroom, but even outside of the classroom? Like, the things you're learning, is it helping you outside of the classroom, or is it just, just learning a book?
personally, I believe I always say this: teachers shouldn't only just have a relationship with students in class, but also out of class to help them feel more like, you know, comfortable when we're around them.
Mm,
And Mr. Brown is just that. When we're out of class, we can relate to what he, says.
mhm,
Like, let me tell you, the life lessons that this man gives us in class is insane. Like, that's just it. Not just only literature, not just only reading. He speaks to us about life in general. How can we pursue this? How can we view this from our POV as students going
mhm,
into fourth form? Gonna do C-Sec soon. This is what he, you know, tells us
mhm.
at this point in our lives.
Wow. So it's
That's
like he's
powerful.
preparing you for the future in a sense.
Uh huh.
That's
Wow.
very powerful. We love that. Um,
What's up?
I'm going to do things a little differently. Sir
Mm.
Brown, if you could say one thing to do to Dijon right now, and to your class in general, your classes in general, what would you say?
Any one thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's hard, but if it's one thing that I would always say is always seek answers, always seek
Mm.
information. You know, there is a lot that will change morally and ethically in your life,
Mm-hmm.
and even if it's within, I've been back and forth about life, love, and religion my whole life, but the one thing that I know that always helps, even if it's therapy,
Mm-hmm.
always seek answers. um Always, keep digging into the information itself. Don't quit your search for knowledge. And something that I actually bring to the classroom that Dejan can confirm: I am very okay with being corrected, very okay with it. And sometimes I tell them, even when I'm writing on the board, sometimes I write too fast. If you see a mistake, just tell me. You understand? I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be like, oh, no, you're wrong. Wait. No, just show me. If you feel something different, I give them the space. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, so just always seek information, seek the answers.
Wow.
Powerful, powerful, absolutely powerful. Boy,
Woo.
this has been a very interesting and honestly a breath of fresh air, because
Yes.
we hear a lot of negativity coming out of our campuses. So this is I believe, something powerful and beautiful for us to be able to share here on Campus Connection.
Yes. And before we go, we do have an audio clip from another student who was not able to come on. And so we're going to invite the studio to play that clip at this time.
I love Sir Brown teaching style because it is very unique, it's different, it's more understanding. He makes it more fun. He makes it exciting. You want to go to Sir class. You can't miss it. Class keep on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You don't want to miss class. Class is always exciting. You learn a lot of new stuff. It's just always fun and different than other teachers.
Wow.
Can you guess who the student is?
Yeah, man, no, man, that's a Jaden, man. Jaden.
You see?
That
This man is brilliant, you know, man. This man is
no, the thing about Jaden is the boombox provider to, you know. Jaden, whenever I use the audiobook, his speaker is the loudest, you know. So so anytime I see him, I'm like, yo, Jaden, you have the boombox?
Yeah, have it, like, don't worry.
I have to say, yo, Jaden, disconnect your Bluetooth and I don't want your music start play out another.
Wow.
Boy.
But it really is powerful to see a teacher just changing lives. And like Jonathan said, it's a breath of fresh air. Like, we've been covering so much bad news in the last few weeks. So
I want to say something though.
Certainly.
Sorry to interrupt, but I just want to get this clear that I don't think my situation is unique. You understand? There are many teachers. I'm just the one that put it on TikTok and asked the principal permission if it can post. You know what I mean? Like I want to use this moment to show the students. That's why I'm like, this is my requirement. You want to talk to me? Have to talk to the student, because there are many teachers doing this. You understand? There are many teachers who are trying, but it becomes a difficult thing sometimes for these full-time teachers because the workload is heavy. The pay is not good. Teachers are underpaid, and because of how underpaid they are, a lot of teachers have to have multiple jobs like I do. So because of that, some of them don't have the energy that I might be putting in right now. So let's not get it twisted that there are many teachers doing what I'm doing. It just hasn't gone viral. Teachers need to be paid better. The government need to do something about raising the pay of teachers, assessing more frequently if they have to. You know, if you're worried about overpaying teachers who they may think shouldn't get overpaid, then assess and then pay the teachers what they're worth.
Definitely. And on that note, we celebrate our teachers. We congratulate our teachers. I mean, just getting up and going in front of a classroom takes a lot of kudos to our teachers for that. And to you, Sir Brown, keep on doing what you're doing. Jamaica is watching and we're proud of you.
Yes.
Much respect. Dejan is still there?
Dejan?
Hey, sir. I'm still here.
Yeah, man. Remember, don't be late tomorrow morning.
That's what I was about to say. All right. Thanks a million for making the campus connection.
Peace.
Boy.
All right.
That was a feel-good moment right there.
Yes, it was. I love that.
I love it.
I
genuinely love it, you know. I wonder if the listeners and the viewers understand that I genuinely love it. But, you know, we have to love our advertisers as well. So we have to take a break right now.
I saw what you did there.
Yeah, you know, quick one. But stick and stay to Campus Connection. We'll be back after these messages.
We create this space just for you. Make we talk about you. Make we talk about school, government, and politics.
And we are the Mitchells. Our life is a busy vibe. So Flow Yarden Road is made for our vibe.
Power your everywhere vibe with Yarden Road and get up to 150 megabits per second fiber fast internet at home and fully loaded mobile with unlimited social and YouTube data. Anywhere talking text plus gigs and gigs of any use data. All for a special offer of $4,999 plus GCT. Yarden Road is for the way you live. Flow, Jamaica's network. Visit discoverflow.co. Conditions apply.
Save in style every time you shop at Home and Things.
Find all the top brands at the best prices. Grab a deal on porcelain, ceramic and mosaic tiles, fixtures and faucets for kitchen and bathroom, windows and doors, lighting, home decor, and more. Yes, you can save in style on just about everything in store. Old Hope Road and Constant Spring Road. Shop for store-wide savings today at Home and Things. Brands you know, brands you can trust.
You love Grace Foods, come dance with me. Whether you are a elder or you a pitney, we make everybody happy evidently. Grace in every house, in every con. Grace with the new dick, GK fit. Lead by your mind like a jacket with a wig. Talk to we nice, don't make your mouth slap. Grace move in the world, everybody knows. 100 lit, 100 years in every basket. 100 years of great friendship. Grace move in the world, everybody knows.
Grace, celebrating 100 years of taste that moves you.
You know what I count, yeah. Hey, me count, you count. Census say all of we count. Hey, you count, me count. Census say all of we count. Hey, information needed to develop the community. Them scouts them out and I get the reports. So don't bother hide when you see them.
Census 2022.
The Jamaican census will be conducted between September and December 2022.
You count, me count.
Grace, celebrating 100 years of taste that moves you.
The Time by Grace Foods is...
Okay, where are the campus nights? Students are strapped up in a price. You see me, yeah.
All right. Welcome back to Campus Connection. It is another Tuesday afternoon, and we just came back from a break after talking with Mr. Simon Brown. He is an instructor at the St. George's College, and we had fun just sharing with him and with Dejan and Jaden. And now it's time for Let's Talk About It. This segment we're very interested in. We're going to be looking at the impact of graphic and lyrical music content on our students. So, Jonathan, who do we have with us?
We have a power-packed panel, and I realized I was muted just now. The time is 6:07. That's 7 minutes after the hour of 6 o'clock. But yes, it's our Let's Talk About It segment, and we're speaking with Dexter Johnson, award-winning artist manager and creative, and also event host. Rondell, positive recording gospel artist, educator, youth advocate / mentor, and Purpose Summit co-host. We also have Clarke, music producer and recording artist, and Perry in Christ, gospel recording artist and content creator. We have a very full panel, but able panel to discuss this topic. Gentlemen, greetings.
All right.
Respect, much respect. Thank you guys for having me.
Awesome. So a lot has been happening on our campuses, and we've been talking about violence in particular. A few of our episodes we spent talking about the reasons or possible factors why students are, being more violent on campuses, or are they even more violent, or is it that social media is pushing the narrative more than it was in the past? So there's a lot to unpack. All of you are music practitioners in your own right, and so we want to look on music as a factor. We want to really unpack whether or not music is affecting the behaviors of our students. So we're going to allow each of you to give your opening statements, and then we'll continue. So Perry, seeing that you're beside Anesta, talk to us. Perry, you're muted. Don't be like me, please. Just unmute your mic. All right. Let's jump to Dexter. as Perry tries to figure out his mic situation.
All right, blessings, everybody. Hope you can hear me well.
Yes.
Definitely.
All right, give thanks. Yeah, man. It's good to be here, definitely. Everybody, blessings again. All right, so this topic has been around for a while. Definitely from, well, my younger time. Can't believe me, I say my younger time. I realized the influence of the renowned artists, the Gully and the Gaza feud. I think that's where it really spiked for me. That was in my teenage years, and I saw that influence in particular. I saw what happened because of music, and I will definitely say, in opening, that music does play a factor, especially social media, in the behavior of our youth. So, I'll start by saying that.
All right. Who's
Courick.
Greetings. Can you hear me?
Greetings. Yeah, man.
Nice. I did kind of cut out for a little bit, so pardon me if I seem a little bit uncertain.
So I want your opening statement concerning the topic. Do you think music is a factor as relates to the issues that students are facing on campuses, so be it sexual, violent behavior, etc.?
Okay, well, absolutely. I think music affects everything. This is why we have music in movies, we have music in ads, we have music on TV, we have music on social media, we have music everywhere, because it affects so much of what we do, so much of who we are, so much of how we behave, so much it influences decisions you make. You play a certain kind of song, you might drive faster, or you feel relaxed, you want to sleep. Music affects so much. So absolutely, I do believe that music is a very important part of who we are as a people, and therefore it really does affect the younger minds in a very serious way.
All right. Can't argue with that, or can we?
You can argue with it, but you can't win.
We shall see. Perry in Christ. All right. Seems as if Perry is still having some issues with his connection. So we just jump to Rondell.
Yes, sir. The question is whether or not music has an influence on I wouldn't even talk about just students on campus. Music influences humanity, period. Like Courick said, did I chip out a while ago? Did I go out a while ago?
No, man, you're still here,
No.
still here.
Okay, cool. So yeah, if you check it, one of the challenges with this music and people thinking that it doesn't influence our society. If you go back to the 70s and the 80s, it was our music that was setting people free, causing revolutions all over the world through Bob Marley. Nations that were being under severe some kind of terrible governmental rule where people were treated as slaves. It was music that was liberating people, So for anybody, because I've listened so much to artists who basically don't want to take any responsibility. Well, let me tell you something. Anywhere I go on any stage, I make music. You can't come down and leave there the same way. It affect it. You listen to what I sing, it must affect you, some way or the other. Straight.
All right. As I'm listening to everyone's take, I believe we have Perry on the phone with us. So we want to hear his opening statement. What do you think music has an impact on our young people? You can go ahead and share. I guess he's not there. All right.
Yeah, Perry have a different kind of day right now.
Perry, come
wow,
on.
okay. I guess he's not there. But
But
Wait,
gentlemen,
hold on. Perry, are you hearing us?
yeah, I'm hearing everyone.
Okay,
wonderful.
great.
We not hearing you, Perry.
You don't hear me? You're not sure?
We're
We
hearing
just
you
start
now. We're
hearing
hearing
you
you
now.
now. We're hearing
We're
you
hearing
now.
you now.
Talk to us.
All right, awesome. Yeah, so music, it really does affect the human mind, and we have to remember that music is a spiritual thing. It really started in heaven with this cherubim called Lucifer. He was gifted with that tool of music, and it's no surprise now that music is used, or it can be used to have a negative impact on people in general. So we have to establish the notion that music is spiritual. It's nothing of the flesh, and that's why it has the potential to influence emotions and thought processes. So that would be my opening remarks towards music. It is first a spiritual thing. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. So you heard from all of our panelists concerning their general thoughts, but let's get deeper into all of this. So, Rondell, could you tell us some of your initiatives that you've worked on that you think would aid or is aiding in mentoring young people? Because we have to have factors that are mitigating against what's happening. So what are some of the things that you have been doing along with your team?
All right, so let me stay. I'm going to share that with you, but let me stay on point for a minute. Because Perry, in Perry's opening statement, Perry made a statement, which I believe is the challenge that overall we're having as a society, is that Perry said that music has the potential to influence negatively. Yeah. And from the space that we do this interview, meaning we're on a radio station that is considered a religious broadcasting unit. I just want to share that in my belief is that the positive influence of music is greater than the negative influence of music. But those who have the opportunity to actually use that influence doesn't use it to influence people, if you understand what I'm saying. But they use it more to promote religion. So I would say to you, what is called secular music is promoted by secular people. And even the people who are supposed to be righteous promote the secular music too, if you understand what I'm saying. Another point I want to make is that the music that comes from the system that is supposed to be the system of light, most time is that music made to influence the people towards a better life in terms of your daily life. What I'm saying is we expect the unrighteous man to sing righteous songs that tell the people live good, because from where we sit, all of our songs, not Rondell, you know, I'm talking about the religious group of the thing, all of our songs point upward. All of our songs point up to the king. But the king is saying, what about setting the people free? I send you to set the people free, but all you come every day singing is holy, 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 you are holy. The king say, yeah man, me accept I'm holy. I receive that I'm holy. But how can you expect the unrighteous to sing righteous songs?
So based on that, Rondell, the initiatives that your team they're undertaking right now, what are some of the factors that you think are positively contributing to nation building, nation change overall?
I mean, I've said this before, and pardon me if I sound if I sound arrogant, but I'm not being arrogant. I'm saying what I know. My team and I have been exposed to the solution to Jamaica. The solution to Jamaica is Jamaicans. Jamaicans are so this is what we try to teach to as many Jamaicans as we find in a room, anywhere in the world, by the way. I'm presently in the US and I have been encountering a lot of Jamaicans. And the Jamaican is a person who can be connected by root to two people, two of the greatest people who ever lived, Jesus Christ and Abraham. So we teach purpose because the only reason why the music goes in the wrong direction is because of a lack of purpose. When the purpose of a thing is not known, automatically it is abused. What does abuse mean? Abuse means abnormally used. Use it in an abnormal way. So who owned the music? The Bible says that all things were made by God, and for God was everything that was made. So who made the devil? Who made, if music was built into this cherubim, who built the cherubim? Who built the music into the cherubim? So who owned the music? If you understand what I'm saying. So these are the things that we try to teach the youths and the nation. The purpose of a thing and the purpose of each individual, the purpose of the nation and the purpose of each family member and the purpose of, for me, everything is purpose.
Yeah. And that's interesting that you mentioned that, Rondell. It's interesting that you mentioned that that word purpose, because inside of this discussion, we're actually looking at the purpose or the influence that music can play inside of what we see happening in our schools. And one of the things that we found, especially on this program, we have, a segment where someone comes on and reads the news and tells us what's happening all across our nation inside of the schools. And in the past few weeks, we've been having to report on just a lot of negativity that's happening in our schools. Students dying, they're getting hurt, they're hurting each other. Teachers, likewise, being caught inside of the whole violent situation. And generally, from what I'm hearing, all of you gentlemen pretty much agree that music can actually play a role. Just like it's negatively influencing some, it can positively influence some. It can remind them of purpose. And so I want to throw this question out to, let me go with Mr. Johnson, Dexter first, and then the other gentleman can join in. But I wanted to know, how do you think the type of positive music that's needed, how can it be used to influence our young people in that school setting? Because you find sometimes they're not opposed to, many schools would actually welcome anything positive on their campuses right now. So how can music be used to positively influence? And I'm going with Dexter first.
All right. So as it relates to the school, ever since growing up, it was always said that it takes a community to raise a child. I say that because the music influence of the school is really so much and no more. And to be honest, the solution, I believe, has to start from the community. That is where the bigger influence is. You understand? So even though, to be honest, the school can do them devotion, I mean, some school I take out devotion, them be able to spend a little 30 minutes, them catch it right the sun, and the little spiritual emphasis week, when versus that you have probably 15 to 20 socials for the year, and so the little poor ISCF group in the school a struggle to keep up. But when you look on the ISCF meeting and who is coming out, you probably see 5-10 out of probably the 1,500 students or the 2,000 students. Now, we say that because when they come back to the community and the influence of the peers, when everybody come together, they find the common ground. and they find what is together with them. You understand? So right now, we realize, all right, everybody in the streets are said probably Skeng and Intense and Skilly Bang and all of these things. That is what is being said into the community, and they leave their homes excited about what they learned in the community and take it to the schools to share their experiences. And so now that now becomes widespread throughout the school community. So the poor little Christian student, them in the school who are trying to sing Jesus Love Me, this I know, have a fight against these influences of the mass. And so now things become harder for the positive music just to even dwell amongst the school area and what they're hearing daily. So it's rough, and it's something I have to tackle from the community aspect. The school really can do so much and no more. The teachers can say it all them want, the principal them can say it all them want. But remember, the body and the mass of the population are the students, and they come from the home into the schools. So I have to try to tackle it from this. So as to what the schools can do, well, try to overturn what your influences are, and so put a lot of emphasis on what is positive and what is righteous. You know, so look at your projects again. What is happening really in your barbecues or your socials? Look again through your processes, your clubs, your organizations, and see how best you can influence the students. No,
hold that point, Dexter, on the matter of influence. I'd want to bring in Courick on that point as a producer. Although I know you're a producer also, Dexter. But Courick, as a producer, do you think that producers have a responsibility as relates to the type of music that pass? Because they have to pass from the studio, right? So do you think that the producers play a vital role in this?
Absolutely, but what else them going to do? You know what I mean? We have to remember that in the music business, forget about even gospel now. In the music business, people are trying to make money. And okay, so recently the government said they're going to ban certain type of music on air and all of that. Okay, cool. Nice initiative. I think that should have happened 20 years ago. But all right, fine. But you have to understand that if there was no market for a certain kind of music, it wouldn't sell. And if it wasn't selling, we would have stopped making it. So then, I think, where was it? China, I think it is. Some place out there, so where certain things don't even come up in your news feed on social media. Some little foolishness, people twerking and just ridiculousness. What they show on their social media is 5-year-olds doing serious quadratic equations and big scholastic achievements and stuff like that. That's what show up on them news feed. So when my brethren talk about community, and that we are talking about, you know, things have to change on a level that is beyond music, because this is how the music is allowed to get to where it's at, because there's no kind of control, no kind of legislation. And I know you're gonna start ball about censorship and things, but look how bad things have gotten without any kind of control. You know what I mean? So if it is that we can't do any more of whatever type of music, we are creative enough to still find hype and fun and make a bag of money and all the things that we have with this bad music. We're still creative enough to make that same kind of niceness and energy and benefit if you lock off our ability to do scamming, killing, drugs, Molly, and all them foolishness there. So yes, the producers do have a part to play. I mean, we all have a part to play.
Definitely.
But me alone as a producer can't take the responsibility on my shoulders. Rondell as an artist can't take the responsibility on his shoulders. It is a community problem that needs a community solution.
Yeah, and I believe from where like I said something earlier, that I believe is when you come from you see, whenever people call me gospel artist, me always ask them gospel of what?
All right. Listen, it's 2 minutes left in the show, and we're probably going to have to do part 2.
So let me make it clear before them start
quickly
going all through the phone. But I say gospel of what? Because Jesus was specific about preaching a specific gospel, the gospel of the kingdom of God. And I say that because when you explore what Jesus taught, Jesus used everything in the community, every problem. Jesus used the very problem to fix the problem.
All right.
So that's what I talk about. What
All
I
right.
talk about is I come back to it again. So like I love 101. The station name Love.
So we
The
preach
station
love.
name. The station's name is not Sing Unto the Lord.
All right. All right.
So
So
the
on
songs
that
that's
note,
supposed to deliver the nation. Jesus, I could write it. Paul said the greatest amongst us all is love.
all right. So on that note, we have to wrap. We have to wrap.
Come back.
We have to come back for our part
please.
two.
Let's come back.
Let's do it
for part
again. Let's
two.
do it again.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for making it Campus Connection. Really appreciate it. Look out for the cars because we have to
Yes.
do a part two for this segment. Wow.
Woo. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you so much. So good.
We have to wrap quick. We don't have much time.
All right. So thanks again to all those who came on, all our guests in the Let's Talk About It segment. Thanks to Tony K. Bromfield, Timoy Butler. Thank you so much for making it Love 101, Campus Connection. We'll see you again next Tuesday. Same time, same place.
All the best.